Bishop. So this is it. Aside from getting my hands on Rogue, I am right there at the end of the line. And she's the one that's toughest to find, as far as I've noticed so far. I've been going through, collecting them, grabbing them up where I can find them, getting what little deals exist. I think some people have found these for pretty cheap. The most I've got is I got one for like 17 bucks or whatever, and I don't even remember which one that was, in all honesty. But it doesn't matter. Because really, the monetary value of these things, while it comes into play, what really matters is the figure itself, the collecting, things of that nature, and how it works for you, how it works for me, what it does. That's all that really matters in all this. But this guy looks interesting. Like, I don't know for sure, but I'm curious. Like, I'm looking at him. Everything about this guy looks new. And like I said before, I don't keep up with all of these lines in a way that would make me know for sure. But, like, is it possible that this is like a 100% new sculpt? Because, like, I don't see anything on this guy that's reused across the current ones that I've opened. Like, this guy looks fantastic. Let's open Bishop. So here he is, Bishop. Now, Bishop comes with 2 shooting hands. They're very much trigger finger hands, which is fine. He comes with a punching hand. He comes with I think this is like a grabbing hand. It could be to represent the idea of his powers, because he takes in energy. Like, if somebody shoots him or something like that, and then he could take in that energy and then rechannel it through his body and fire it back. That could be what that is it could be trying to play on that aspect. They gave him one of the hands that he could use to do that. But they also put it in the hand that makes the most sense to have the gun. Not that it's too big of a deal, but I mean, so like, because here's the gun. And it's just a gray gun. There's nothing super special about it. It's just gray. I mean, it's right, but it's just gray. And then it goes there, and the idea is supposed to be that he would reach back. And he actually can do it, too, by the way, which is nice, because the movement on these guys, since they got the elbow joints and the knees, is good. And then he would pull the gun out. But then he would need the power hand here, so that he could, like, I guess he could switch hands or whatever, but I'm curious about that. Is he right-handed, left-handed? I don't know. I would have to look that up again. I don't remember smaller details like that right off the bat. But to give him the power hand, and then, so you'd almost have no choice but to kind of switch the hand that fires the gun. Though I don't think it would make that big of a difference, in all honesty. I don't think it would be that big of a deal. And maybe this isn't a power hand either. Maybe they did think this through. Let me pull that, put this hand in place. Careful the wrists, this little part here, that wrist, it comes out. Maybe the idea is to pull the gun out. Let's get this gun in his hand, shall we? He's got them rubber hands. Come on. Damn. Open your damn hand. Hold on. Having troubles. Dropping the gun. This is ridiculous. I do this a lot with figures, I've noticed. Ever since they went from more solid hands to just kind of having those rubber hands, I notice I've had trouble with them. So then he has his gun, and maybe this is the idea, but even, I mean, yeah, that works. Maybe that's the idea. I'm sorry, I got the camera all crazy. either way, it would work like this too, but like the gun's not very big. So like on a personal note, once he has the gun, I'd rather just like take some firing positions or something like that. You know what I mean? Something like to that extent. Pow, pow. His sculpt is fantastic, by the way. Not just in terms of his movement and everything that we're going to be able to get out of him. 2 shooting hands is going to be able to fire the gun wherever he wants, but like he could take poses like that with that good hand. And he does have a punching hand if you want to punch and things like that. This is fantastic. It seems sealed a little bit to him. I don't know if it's pushed in. It feels glued. This and this are also kind of loose pieces. The belt is an extra piece, kind of, but it doesn't feel like it comes off. These wrist pieces here are an extra piece. The boots are solid. Mine has a little bit of a scuff up here on the yellow, but nothing that I'm going to complain about. That face sculpt, that is so good. That is amazing. Like, that is some of the best work I have seen, literally. That is absolutely fantastic, that face sculpt. I would not cry about that at all. In fact, I would wonder, if you want the truth of it, if he might well be the best. Is he the best figure? Is he like a sleeper? It is between him and Wolverine. Like, without a doubt, it is between him and Wolverine for the best figure in this line. Like the X-Men 97 line, he might be, that is really good. I mean, that is amazingly solid. I'm not even a Bishop fan. Like, I like Bishop for what it's worth, but like, I don't go out of my way for anything Bishop. This is the first Bishop I've ever owned. It's the first time I've ever seen him in toy form and said, oh crap, I have to have that one. Like, it's never happened before, but this is solid. This is fantastic. It is very, very well done. Yeah, I'm legit impressed here. And with that, I have everybody except for Rogue. And that's it. And I'm very much still fighting with myself as to whether or not that's a FOMO. I feel like I want to finish the line, but I also feel like I have the best Rogue they've ever released. And I feel like they're not going to do anything with this new Rogue that's even going to come close to what that one was. Now, I don't know. This sculpt is fantastic. The Wolverine sculpt is fantastic. Maybe the sculpt is so good. I don't know. Because that Gambit is incredibly solid as well. Though I will say that the Gambit that came out before him, I think was about on par, if not even a little bit better. So I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's kind of like when you get a Spider-Man and a Spider-Man and a Spider-Man and a Spider-Man. A lot of them are good, and a lot of them have good points and bad points, and then every single time they release something, like they released the one, Renew Your Vows, and they gave him the toe articulation, and you were like, this is it, this is the pinnacle. But you could argue that first appearance can get into certain poses easier, even though he doesn't have the toe articulation. So, like, it's always a hit and miss with figures in terms of one or the other. And then sometimes it's just an aesthetic thing. Sometimes we like the things that we like, and there's no real thing behind it other than this is all subjective. This is what I like. I like it because I like it. It's the way that it is sometimes. This guy right here, I am impressed. This has to be the best Bishop we have ever seen. I mean, right? Would you agree? I mean, this is amazing. This is fantastic. I wish I'd had the chance to buy him physically. I had to get him online. I tried over and over and over again to find him. I tried Walmarts and I tried Targets. There are 3 Targets in my area, 5 Walmarts in my area. None of them ever had him. ever. The most that I saw was I was able to buy a Wolverine off the rack, and he was the last one there at a Target. And then I walked into another Target and saw 7 Magnetos sitting there. But I didn't get them that day because I had no money. So I still ended up having to get my Magneto online anyway. Either way, this is impressive. If every one of these figures came out with this level of detail, this level of articulation, this level of what essentially looks like love, I'm telling you, that sculpt, that head sculpt, the body, all of it works so well. That is fantastic. With the Wolverine in this line, so we got the Wolverine and the Bishop and the Gambit, all 3 from this one single line, and some could even argue the Magneto, all from this line being absolute knockout, frickin' bangers, home run, just pop, and they followed it through and it went all the way, man, all the way over the walls. They really rocked this X-Men 97 line. You want to talk about putting your big resources on it? You did very good this time. There's only one character I feel so far has been weak, and that was Storm. And I don't know that that's 100% her fault. Because even while I could count things about her that I think are weak compared to her line, she's still pretty solid, really, when you get right down to it. Yeah, very impressive. This 97 line has been fantastic. I owe it to myself, I think, to get that Rogue. With the level of, we'll say, care that seems to have been put into this line, I owe it to myself to finish the line. I'm one figure away. It would almost be stupid at this point not to just go ahead and finish the line. What's the worst that happens? I get another Rogue, and the Rogue isn't as good as the other Rogue? Maybe. But then again, even if the Rogue isn't exactly the same, maybe that's a benefit because maybe the cartoon-esque look fits with the other characters more. We had this discussion in Black Widow. In the Black Widow video, we specifically talked about human actor characters look different than comic book characters, than cartoon characters, and that's all on purpose. Maybe it's worth it. I'm gonna get out of here.
I have spoken. Take what you will.